Have you ever wanted to buy a fishing boat, but you realize you know nothing about buying fishing boats? Not a problem, neither do I, but I bought one anyways. We're gonna go through all the pitfalls and lessons learned on how to buy your first boat when you know nothing about boats. So we have the trailer, we have the boat, and we have the motor. That is a heck of a deal, and the number one thing you wanna do when you're looking for a used boat, before you even go look at one, is make sure that the guy selling it to you has all the titles. It's gonna make life so much easier. Every single person out there selling a boat has some sort of sob story. The title's in his brother's name, it was his old neighbor's boat, something or another. It's very rare for them to get all three titles, but I was lucky enough to find one. You need a title for the boat, you need a title for the outboard motor, and sometimes you need a title for the trailer. In Texas, you can get by with a registration for the trailer. You don't necessarily need the title. I'm not gonna go into all that. Easiest thing in your life is to get the title for all three units. The boat and the motor has to be transferred at the Texas Parks and Wildlife office. That took me about 15 minutes in 2 forms. One thing to note is you will have to pay tax on it. You have to pay sales tax. So when you go to title it, be prepared to pay a couple $100 for sales tax, depending on how much you paid for the boat. The trailer has to get titled at the tax collector's office. And yeah, that took me about 3 hours of waiting in line, but we got her done. What do we have? We got a 15-foot by 41-inch boat and a 15 horsepower Mercury motor. For the motor, you want to make sure that guy can run it. You do not want to buy a motor that doesn't run. This one was running. I had the guy start it up for me. And when we take off the cover, it looks pretty good, y'all. I don't see any leaking oil. I don't see any rust and corrosion. Other than that, I don't know much about boat motors, but I know a guy who does. For the boat, you just want to make sure it looks like it doesn't have any leaks. This guy actually took pretty good care of it, so I got pretty lucky on that. He threw in the trolling motors and the batteries and the anchors. Heck of a deal. Now my trailer, the trailer's in okay shape. I don't know if you can see it, but there's definitely some rust going on here. There's definitely some DIY stuff going on here. That's okay. We know how to DIY some stuff as well. But the first thing I gotta do is fix the trailer lights because they are not working. We went and bought a new kit right here. Trailer lights always die, y'all. Water and electricity do not go well together. Next thing we gotta do is see about our buddy to check out our motor. Now that we got the trailer lights working, we have to see a guy about a motor, and luckily his fee is very reasonable. So what are we looking for here, Alex? Leaking oil.
Well, we want to make sure that before you take it and you actually start driving it, this is the gear case, which is kind of like the transmission of a car.
Yep.
This has the gears in it, so when you shift, this is what changes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure when you open it, you drain it, there's no water in it, because if there's water in it, that means there's a leak. If there's a leak, that means that the gears aren't going to be lubricated properly, and eventually you're going to destroy the gears. Right,
because they won't have oil in them anymore.
And then you'll be stranded.
We definitely don't want to be stranded. We opened up the drain plug, and oil's coming out, so that's a good sign.
That's good looking oil too.
All right, so first good sign is we have oil coming out, not water. What else should we look for? What's a red flag? The only thing I knew to do when I went to look at it was to make sure that the propeller spun. That was my complete knowledge of boat motors. Make sure the motor or the propeller spun, and it did. No, but the gentleman I bought it from did fire it up, and it did run. It didn't sputter, it didn't smoke, it didn't do any of that noticeable bad engine things. It did. They have what's called a pee hole out here somewhere.
The telltale.
Yeah, it was peeing. When you fire these up, they need water, and it shoots the water. The water comes in the bottom, and it comes back out the top, and it did that correctly. All right, so the next step is to make sure the engine does not overheat. So you never run a dry engine. You got to fill up the bucket, or they actually make hose adapters that you connect to the very, very bottom of the motor. But we're gonna fire it up and make sure it doesn't overheat on us. Just needed some love. Little smoke at the beginning. There's the pea pile.
Well, that's a lot of smoke for a 4-stroke. So you might be burning
Oil.
oil.
So when you got the choke open, it's smoking more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when the choke is in, the smoke goes away. Remember when cars used to have chokes? You don't remember that?
Oh, dude. No, I don't remember that.
I guess I'm older than you then, for sure. It was the same thing. There used to be a lever and it said choke on it, and it was right by the steering wheel, man. Checking to see if it's overheating anywhere. Everything's moving as it should. The white stuff in there is just lithium grease that the gentleman sprayed on there to keep the gears lubed up. It's the oil dipstick, we checked it. It's full of oil. It's an oil reservoir. It's not burning anything out. All right, compression test. So the compression dial goes into where the spark plug connects, right there. Obviously there's 2 spark plugs. You want the compression to be around the same numbers. That's all I know about it.
Well, let's see. It'll tell us a lot. Ready?
Yep.
That's actually really low. We're at what, like
6?
55?
Yeah. Alex is saying that's on the low side, but we're gonna have to plug it into the other spark plug. And see if we get the same reading. Cylinder test number 2. The lower cylinder.
Ready?
Yep. Damn near the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn near the same. So that's a good sign.
It means it's gonna run evenly.
It's gonna run evenly. That means the cylinders have the same compression inside of them. That's good news. All right, we ran some more tests on the motor and it actually stopped peeing water out the back, which is not a good sign. We got something going on there. We're gonna have to figure that out. We definitely don't want to burn the motor out or get stranded out on the river somewhere. But Alex, what do you think? For $4,500, was it worth it?
Definitely. Totally. I would have bought this if I was looking for a boat.
We'll figure out the engine issues, and then we got us a river runner, y'all. Woo!
Now I can't wait to go on trips with you, where you do all the work and I just sit around and drink beer all day.
That's it. That's the dream, right?
I can't wait.
That's the dream. All right, so we got the motor back from Alex, and he says it was looking pretty good, although we do have a couple issues going on. We may have to replace the thermostat up here, and we most likely have to replace the impeller, which is down here. And now that we are boat owners, we are going to YouTube the heck out of it and figure out how to do it ourselves, because this is routine maintenance on these types of engines, and see if we can't get this figured out. All right, first thing we did was we angled the motor up for easy access. We undid this pin right here. You do have to shift that. See if you're in full, neutral, or reverse. If we go to full, it goes up. Neutral goes down. If we were to go in reverse, it would shift the whole drive shaft down. That needs to be disconnected so we can dismount the lower unit. We got a bolt, a bolt, and I believe that bolt needs to come off. All right, we got all 4 bolts out of there. I gave this a little pull. It comes out easy. Did you see this? We got to take that little nut off so we can pull the drive shaft out. It's called the lower unit. Should slide out. There we go. And this is the piece we're looking at. There we go. We're just going to pull that straight up off of there. And that is the impeller. We can kind of see some scraping going on right there. Since we already disassembled it, we're gonna go ahead and replace this anyways, because they need to be, this whole kit needs to be replaced like every 3 years anyways. It's a 10-year-old motor. My guess is it's never been replaced, or maybe replaced once. It's good kind of maintenance. We're gonna go ahead and get that part ordered, and we'll come back here and get it installed. All right, everyone, I'm pretty sure I got this boat motor running again. We replaced some things. We got her loaded up. Trailer lights are going. and we are going for our maiden launch here. And we picked a really good spot because Captain Alex, Buffalo Bayou Fishing Champs, is here. Boat expert. Dad's coming with me in case we actually get the fish and the boat doesn't sink. And Alex is giving me all the tips I need to launch for the very first time in my life. Basically, you want to make sure you got your drain plug in. You want to make sure all your straps are off of the boat. Your gear is loaded into the boat so you're not screwing around with it. And you want to make sure that your safety chains are not connected, but you leave your winch. So we only got one thing left to do, y'all. Drive it down the boat ramp and get her in the water. All right, here we go, y'all. First boat launch ever. Nice big ramp. Captain Alex is in the back. He's gonna help guide me. Because I have backed up trailers before, never into the water. And I suck at it too. Boat is in the water, y'all. Backup cameras are pretty nice at this point. Am I good?
Yeah.
How am I looking?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
You never want to go too deep.
Right?
And you'll just be floating around.
Not too deep because I'll be floating around. Here's my start. Fired up.
First crank?
Yeah. And it's peeing. We fired it up. We are in neutral. Mine has a push start. It is peeing. If it doesn't pee, your engine will overheat. That is the issue I was having when I got this boat motor. Okay. So then unlatch it up there? Leave that there?
Yeah.
Unlatch the winch. This one, yeah, this lever's on the bottom. And it's pretty rusty.
Just enough so it doesn't.
Just like that. So now we're gonna back it out and then put it that way. Okay. We're still peeing. All right, that was nerve-wracking. All right, Dad, if you can grab that line right there. Not bad for my first launch. Heck yeah, man. Thank you for all the assistance.
Of course, tie her up, man.
Here we go.
Or Dad can hold it the whole time.
Now we're gonna tie her up. We're gonna get the trailer back up. First boat launch ever, y'all. Okay, the boat is in the water, y'all. The truck is parked. We are gonna go out fishing today. The boat's not leaking. The engine is still cooling. That is all good news. Let's get out there, y'all. Our maiden voyage on the new boat. Woo! We're going, y'all. We're going. First trip, y'all. First trip. How we feeling, Dad?
It's cold.
It's cold today, yeah. That's stupid.
Cold, but we got a lot of learning to do today.
We do. We're gonna do some fishing later, but first I want to master this motor. Make sure we're all good. Make sure I know how to drive a boat. All right, y'all. All right, now that I have owned this boat for about a month and I've taken it out 3 or 4 times, let me tell you what I have actually learned. And one of the most important things you're gonna learn real quick is something is always breaking. I had to replace some fuel pumps. We had to replace some wire connectors. We had to replace the trailer lights. There's always something small on this boat that's always got to be fixed. I even had to learn how to do some rivets which wasn't hard or complicated, but you do need to know that these things are going to require constant maintenance. There's always going to be something, and if something's not breaking, you're going to want to improve it, adding some rod holders, adding a deck, whatever it is, you're going to want to customize it. It's just the nature of owning a boat. The most stressful part of me buying and testing this boat was the boat ramp. Oh, nothing made me more nervous than backing this thing down the boat ramp for the very first time and into the water. I'm just gonna say, if you do not know how to back up a trailer, that is fine. You can rent a U-Haul trailer, go to a parking lot, and practice backing up a trailer. Don't let that stop you from buying a boat. That's how I learned how to back up a trailer. I am terrible at it. Terrible, y'all. I still managed to launch this thing 3 or 4 times without crashing it. And on that very first trip I took it out, I did way more learning than I did fishing. That's just expectations, right? The first several trips we were out here was really about learning how to drive the boat, how to launch the boat, how to work the motor and the engine, you know, forward, backwards, throttles, all of that fun stuff. Mine has a choke. Luckily it has a push start, so I didn't have to screw around with a pull chain. But you will definitely be doing a lot of learning on those first few trips, more learning than fishing. And I also got to mention, because this is a really, really important one, the costs are gonna sneak up on you guys. It is like owning a car, y'all. There is maintenance and cost involved. You got to make sure your trailer tires are good. You got to get this thing registered. You're gonna have to get oil. You're gonna have to get gas. You're gonna have to get batteries. There is maintenance costs involved. This is not a buy it once and you are done. You're also gonna have to buy more supplies than you ever thought. Things like fire extinguishers and whistles. I was lucky enough, mine came with a trolling motor. If you want to hit a trolling motor, I don't know what those are, $500 a piece plus a battery. So there are going to be expenses and maintenance involved in owning a boat. And this is a big one. The weather is going to mean more than ever now. When I used to bank fish, the only thing I really cared about is if lightning storms were coming, was it going to rain? But now you have to watch out for the rain. You got to look out for the wind. 20-mile-an-hour winds on a lake or in a river will cause white cap waves, and in a small boat like this, that can be very unpleasant and even dangerous. And you're also going to have to watch river currents. So if you fish in the rivers, you got to watch those currents and flood stages. This boat only has a small 15 horsepower motor. If that river is raging, that little motor's not going to be able to actually like go against the current and get me back to the dock. So you have to pay attention to the weather a lot more carefully now. And honestly, the trailer matters just as much as the boat does, y'all. The trailer matters just as much as the boat does. A bad, crappy trailer is gonna make the entire experience unpleasant. My trailer is okay. It's got some nice bunks. It's got the nice little guide bars on there. I had to replace a few things on it, but I've seen guys try to do this on like homemade flatbeds, and I'll tell you right now, y'all, a good solid trailer is just as important as the boat is, and they are just as much maintenance. The better trailer you get from day one, the better this whole experience is going to be. And I think one of the biggest lessons people are going to learn that they don't believe or don't want to hear, the boat does not guarantee fish, y'all. You still need to know where the fish are, how to locate them, when to locate them, where they're hiding. You still have to know the conditions. The boat can just take you places you can't get on the bank. It does not guarantee you fish. You still need to know how to fish to catch the fish from the boat. So I know I just said a bunch of things that may have been pretty scary to some, but here's the thing. If you've always thought about owning a boat and you can afford it, and that's a big one, if you can afford it, you cannot let the fear stop you guys. A month ago, I knew absolutely nothing about owning a boat or launching a boat or maintaining a boat, and I'm out here and I did it. I got a little bit of help from some buddies. The rest I figured out on my own, and it's already opened the door for some amazing adventures for me. If I can do it, anyone can do it, y'all. And of course, I can't forget to give a big thank you to Alex from Buffalo Bayou Fishing Champs for helping me out. He taught me so many things I didn't know. Never gonna be able to repay you, man. Appreciate everything you did for me to get this boat up and running.